So this video is basically for myself. Um, it's it's just a reminder for me that I think that I need to be more woke, and I'm just posting it because maybe you might want to hear my reasons, and you might want to be more woke too. So I'm sorry, my voice is kind of gone right now, but yesterday I came across Dewey Chu playing Jian Hao Tan's new game. It's a video game, and it's a freaking basically it's a Gunner game, but I have my iPad out here because I was so disturbed that I had to do some introspection and like ponder about like why I'm so disturbed about it. And so I'm just reading off this long ass um rumination that I have typed out on my notes app. Basically the disturbing thing is that in this video game, these characters are real women from his talents. Um and like one of them is like his wife. Like, okay. And that's not the disturbing part. The thing is that these that the video game's whole concept is like finding love. So you're a guy, you are you are playing the game from the point of view of a guy that has been washed up on some island, and like these hot girls in bikinis come and save you, and um like you're one guy with like a few hot girls, and the whole scenario is like you got to earn their love or something. I'm not too sure, but I was so disturbed by it because like he actually posted a response because some people have been not too happy with this concept, but he posted a response saying that it's like it's about like the storyline, and like the it's about like how your choices shape you as a person and everything. And I'm just so like I'm so over it because it's so clear that the plot, the storyline is like these girls boobs, like their assets. Because when like I was watching like the gameplay, and like the camera keeps like first of all, they're always in either like bikinis or like lingerie, and like the camera angle is always focused on their assets, and like sometimes it's not even like their their top half, it's like their bottom half, like the like the front of their bottoms, like in bikini bottoms. And then um it's like I don't even want to, like when I was following the gameplay, it's like I don't even want to, like, even if you don't want to focus on these assets, like you're kind of forced to, because the camera is making it the center, like I don't know how to describe it, but basically it's like focusing on them, and like it doesn't even show the girls' faces. Sometimes it's like from your point of view, right? So it's like the line of vision is it doesn't even capture the girls' faces. Sometimes it will just focus on their boobs. Like it just cuts off their head, and it's so. I was kind of thinking like, why am I so disturbed by this? But I feel like it's because it's like taking objectification to a whole new level. Um, I'm gonna leave aside the fact that most of these talents, I guess their audience is mainly kids, because like their main channel is a kids channel. He has like this whole defense about how like they're not gonna post it on their main channel, or like whatever. But also it's like so easy to bypass the age verification, and I know like you can blame like parenting or whatever, but I'm just gonna put the whole fact that their main audience is kids aside, okay? But I feel like it's like objectification on like a whole new level, because these girls are like intentionally acting as these game characters, which like in their movements and everything, you can see that they're trying to like emulate that Y2K TikTok trend where like the one with like where girls just wear makeup, but it's like they're acting like those Y2K makeup games where like their movements and everything are like game characters, but they're obviously real people and not AI, but they're purposely trying to like mimic how like like virtual characters would act. And like it's that, except it's not for makeup, it's for like a Gunner game. And I'm just so disturbed because I just feel like, what does this say to men about these women? It's like it's like, are you just saying that these girls are just like, not these girls I guess, but like, you know what I mean, like they're just objects to be possessed or to have control over? Because I think I'm just so disturbed because I have this, I'm taking this module and the professor was talking about how violence towards women is systemic and structural, which I think a lot of us knew, but also the fact is that it's so ingrained in our society that some of us may not even realize that objectification of women is also part of, like, it's considered as violence towards women, and it is what contributes towards violence against women, because um it's like through games like this, or like these kind of like porny games, I guess, like where women are objectified. And you know what is the meaning of objectified? It's literally like objects. Like, women are not human beings of their own with like wills and everything. It's like they're just objects. And I was just learning about how in like ancient times, across like cultures, across ages, across like class, across everything, like women used to be considered as like men's properties. Like, we are considered the same as like their furniture, and we had no legal right of our own outside of being like someone's wife or like someone's daughter, which is why violence towards women in terms of domestic violence, as in like men hitting their wives, was accepted to a degree. Like, this degree is arbitrary. And I was learning about how like this kind of obviously this kind of stopped, like women stopped being like considered chattel or like men's possessions when we gained like women's rights and like the right to vote and everything. But like, these kind of ancient laws have also bled into our society now, because like even up to like I think like the 1970s, like even in the Singapore court, like women, when talking about spousal violence, which is usually like the high percentage of it, like, and it's severely underreported because like people don't want to like air out their family business, but like the majority of it would be the husband hitting the wife. Like, when arguing about this kind of things in the Singapore court up to like 1970s, even like the female ministers would argue that you know the wife should just like take it in stride, because the husband is still considered the breadwinner, even though the wife is also working as well, because like that back then it's like women had already gained rights, and like people wanted women to work to like for like the economy, or like whatever. But the 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 conclusion was that women should just accept a degree of it, like if it's not too bad, for the sake of the family, for the sake of the children, for the sake of like their family's reputation and the family name. And like, okay, but what about the woman? Like, what, like, who cares about the family if the family was ruined the moment you laid hands on your wife in front of your kids or whatever? Like it doesn't even make sense. But the reality is that um the societal, like these societal laws governing us since like ancient society, they have bled into our society now, because like of like historical reasons. And it really disturbs me when whenever I tell, or like my friends tell our male friends, like there are so many headlines every single day about, like, men doing something to women, like something, anything, some sort of violence. And like whenever we jokingly, or like not so jokingly, be like, we hate men, and then it just annoys me how these men take it so frivolously. They're like, well, not all men. Yeah, but it's always a man though. And the fact remains that in, like, I'm sure there were some matriarchal societies, but like right now, especially like Western and like Asian society, like the patriarchal society is very much a thing, and it has protected men at the expense of women. Like even back then, when like women were considered like property and everything, when they were like expected to maintain a household and take care of the kids and everything. And I think of it today, like what are the gender expectations for women as compared to men? Like, are house husbands like a thing, or is like, or are women the ones that are expected to like take care of the kids, even if they also have a career and are expected to contribute to the household as well? Anyway, when I learned about like it was a whole like newspaper thing, because it was like a parliamentary thing, and like it was covered in the papers. But when I first heard about it, I was like, why are even the female ministers, like these women ministers? And I feel like back then, for a girl to receive education, you have to be well off, because most back then it was very like 重男轻女. It's very like they favor the sons over the daughters, so they would rather the daughters just stay home while the sons go out and study. So for a girl to have like risen up to that position, like I would have expected you to defend women more. But no, I see these women like just saying, like women should accept like a certain degree of like the husband is the head of the household, and like you should just accept a certain degree of like violence, I guess. Like as long as it doesn't become too bad. Like, but what do you define as too bad then? Like what do you define as too bad violence? There was a recent case, the Megan Kung case, where this influencer, his who went to jail, his daughter was like tortured and eventually found dead. And then after that, I think like the Ministry of like Social, or MSF, came out to say um like maybe like it's only counted as abuse, like this, like it could be counted as abuse if there are physical marks left behind, and other than that, it's just considered discipline. It's just maybe like a caning or a punishment. It's like where do we draw the line? Like, are you sure that that's what you want to count as abuse? Like, how about financial abuse? This also constitutes violence against women, and it all stems from the fact of women being objectified and not being considered lesser than. So basically, I was just so upset by this game because of the fact that it was so disturbing to me how, in this age of AI, even before AI, me and my friends have experienced men's entitlement to female bodies by, like, let's say, um okay, I don't want to say it, but now with AI, when people can like look at, like, if you go on Twitter, it's full of like guys just like removing women's fully clothed removing women's clothes from their bodies to make up like boobs, or like superimpose like their pictures on like a bikini body. It's like, why do you like, it's so disturbing to me how entitled men are to women's bodies, and we know how men do not take rejection well. There have been many cases of men having this mentality of, if I can't have her, no one can, and they kill a girl who rejected them. Or like in India, they set her on fire. And you know what I mean? Like this entitlement to women's bodies, whether it be possessing her or like even stalking or like, you know what I mean? And this whole AI thing, it just disturbed me that these women, by the way, like living, breathing human beings, like you are acting as these playable characters for these men to possess you in a sense. And because like that's what it is at the end of the day. And okay, I just don't like how it's clearly a gooner game, like some sort of like hentai adjacent game without anything too hardcore, because obviously they are like real personalities, as in like they are public figures at the end of the day. But I don't like how it's clearly that sort of game, but they're acting so morally superior about it, as though like talking about, oh, it's a game about how your choices shape you. Like, girl, can you be serious? Like, I know he just wants to capitalize off his talents and their fame, but it just makes it even more disgusting to me, because it's like okay, now like if I was like an incel male follower and I get access to like you and like a whole harem of girls, and in reality none of these girls have consented for me to like you know, but in the game like I am. And like what does this mean? Like in Malaysia there was this case of where like this male student, he thought he I don't know if he played too many like video games or whatever, but he genuinely thought that this girl whom he had never spoken to before in his life, but that he had a crush on, he he felt so entitled to her that he killed her. He stabbed her like I think like 200 times, and then he killed himself. And he thought that they would be like transported to another reality where they would be the main characters in a romance together. This poor girl didn't even know this guy, and she just got killed because of like his entitlement towards her. It's crazy to me lah. And I know like some people might say like, oh, the girls are okay with it, but this is not mutually exclusive with it contributing to the problem, this problem of objectification and the larger problem of violence against women in our society. It's just like how I support sex workers, but I don't support sex work, you know, and because of how prone it is to exploitation and everything. And like think about it. Anyway, the whole reason why I said that this was a reminder for me to get more woke is because my professor brought up this example about car shows because of the recent car show in Singapore. And he mentioned that, you know, like it's a car. Why do you need female models in skimpy and tight clothes? And initially I had just thought like, oh, you know, good for them. Like they look hot. Like I can appreciate like my friends looking hot or whatever. But I don't have this male entitlement towards their bodies, which is the thing that is so disgusting to me. Like I'm sure that as girls we have all experienced like being uncomfortable, being leered at in public or whatever. So like, so all this to say that it's not that I'm saying that this video game is like the root cause of all our problems, but I'm just saying that it is also a reflection of how normalized the objectification of women in society is, and as well as the larger problem of violence against women, or like the male entitlement to women's bodies, whether it be ogling, you know, looking at it, or like taking it more drastically and genuinely wanting to possess us, even if like we say no. I have observed this problem where if a girl rejects a guy, he might not take her seriously, and he will only take it seriously if a guy comes to extricate her from the situation. And I'm not just speaking about romantically, I'm speaking about like people, like guys who approach you on the streets to try and like sell you things. If I say no, sometimes they might just not let you go until male, another guy comes in, removes you, which is crazy. Like you don't respect people, you don't respect women, you don't respect, like you see you clearly see us as lesser than. If not, like why would you only back off when like another like guy comes in, like swoops in. He has to swoop in. If not like women can never. I just don't understand um how it has become so normalized. The and I know that like so many people are like, oh my god, like people are too woke nowadays, but I think we all need to get woker because it's become like, back to the car model example. It's like, on one hand, I guess like good for them, like they look hot and everything, but we cannot ignore how like the objectification of women is so commonplace that we we don't even bat an eye at it. You know what I mean? Like, um, so all this is just to say that if you are a girl, and I have no idea how you stumbled across this video, we as women, we low-key need to get woker. We need to. I mean, obviously, we live in a society. I'm not gonna go out and like, um, I don't know. I guess like, okay, I don't even know how to put it, but it's just a reminder for like us when we live our lives. Clock it, like if you see anything happening, stand up for your female friends. Or like, if guys say something against women, ask him, what do you mean by that? Like, what do you mean? Don't just let it slide as locker room talk or whatever people try to justify it with. Look them straight in the eye and be like, what do you mean? Like, I know this, I kind of know this guy. So like a friend of a friend of a friend or whatever. And like there was one time we were eating, and I think my friend told him to do something, and he was like, I don't listen to girls. Like, okay, what do you mean though? Like, what do you mean? So it's just a reminder for me, um, that like, just not, just to, just to clock it, honestly. Like, just today, another article came out where this guy, um, couldn't accept this rejection, like this female teacher's rejection of him, so he was stalking her at her school. This is what I mean. Like, the entitlement is crazy. And the scary thing that like a lot of men, if you say this kind of things, they'll be like, oh, but like, it happens to guys too. Like, yes, okay, it does, but on a much smaller scale. Okay, the vast majority is always against women, because that's how structurally, institutionally, things have always been this way. And it's only like now, in like the 21st century, where women are finally starting to get like rights, like feminism and everything. And like, okay, like don't ruin it, and don't make all of us hate you by being like, oh, but men get Men get abused too, men get objectified too. Yeah, but I think that the entitlement, like we can I can appreciate my friend looking hot aesthetically in like a wholesome kind of way. But I don't I won't go and touch her without her consent. I won't go and do anything without like consent, you know? Like I'll be like, "Oh my God, babe, like you look so good today." But like that's my friend. I wouldn't do it to like a girl who is clearly uncomfortable. And that's the difference. Like yeah, girls and to myself. Yes.